to do to get on here. Guys, welcome. Hey, Julia. Hey, Carla. Hey, Miss Sherry. Everybody's finally figuring it out. My wife is answering texts and stuff. So now that Zoom is, I guess from what I heard, Zoom is having people like get into people's Zoom meetings and stuff, which is kind of crazy. Kathleen's shaking her head. So it's what we have to do. But guys, let me just, before I introduce our guests, I just want to say a couple of things. And then I'm going to share after Kathleen shares for a little bit, because she's going to be on another call after this. But Lisa and I were this weekend, we were looking over the playbook, and it is flipping awesome. Like they took our advice from the elites. They took all of the LifeVantage stuff off of it, all the logo stuff off of it. And Jesse and Ryan and his team have done a phenomenal job. Like all the recordings going in the playbook, like, I mean, everything, you know. And we were talking about this because with a lot of the elites groups that Lisa and I are connected with, we are doing presentations every night this week, and we're posting them in the group. I don't know if you guys watched Jason Kokinzi's presentation last night, but it was outstanding. And I don't know if you got to see mine the night before. I hope it was outstanding. I heard it was. We had some enrollments. Other people were texting me saying they had enrollments. There was about 150 people on the one that I did, and there's about 170 on the one Jason did. So we're getting a lot of tractions to these meetings. Lisa and I will post these Zooms for you. They're every night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 4 p.m. Mountain. Everybody wants to put everything on Mountain Standard Time. I don't know why they do that. I think because everybody is from that area, right? And so I know Kathleen and I are from the East Coast, so we're on the East Coast. So guys, let me introduce our guest really quick. And I'm super excited to hear from her, because I felt like I knew her, but recently I had the opportunity to get to know her a little bit, right? How many of you have had interactions with people in LifeVantage and you felt like you knew them, but you really didn't know them, right? And you wanted to kind of get to know them, right? And so I put together a little bit of information for you guys. And I like to do this because that way, if you go back and look at this and watch it later, which we get a lot of people that do, I noticed one thing about Kathleen is she's very active. She's a cyclist. She loves working out. I'm guessing just from some of her posts that she likes Peltalon. I'm just guessing a little bit about that because I saw that. From what I've heard, she's getting her next goal is getting really close to being a Pro 8 in the company, which is really super awesome. Marcy told me that. Michael Epstein told me that. A lot of people that she gets to work with on a regular basis. I love it because she got her doctorate degree in physical therapy, and then she was able to retire and not have to worry about it. And she has a very similar story like me. Guys, if I still had my multiple six-figure brick and mortar fitness business, I would be broke right now. I would not be working, and it's probably going to go on for at least 2 or 3 more months, to be honest with you. Okay. And I know all my friends that are in the fitness business that have their own gyms are starving right now. They're everyone in this, every gym in this area. I see the people working out at the park with people and doing a lot of other things. And so being a physical therapist, you wouldn't be working either right now, unless you were maybe in a probably, I'm guessing maybe in a medical facility or something like that. And it was just you and your patient, but how much fun would that be? Right. So Kathleen lives in Maryland. I actually had the privilege to be encouraged by her, and that's why I'm super excited to have her encourage you guys tonight. I did the LifeVantage Academy a week ago, Saturday, and for the Bethesda people, and we had almost 100 people on there, which was phenomenal. They get a great turnout up there in Marcy's group, and Amy Holmwood actually texted me. She says, "Michael, I don't think I've ever been on a 4-hour training for the whole entire time." And I was like, "Wow, really? You stayed on for the whole time?" She said, "Yeah, you kept me engaged the whole entire time." And she said, "I think sometimes when we go to these things, we get a little bit distracted because we're used to some of the repetitive stuff, but I throw some personal development in there and I throw some other things in there." So I'm going to unmute Kathleen, and I'm going to let her tell you her story. And I said, I told her just whatever God puts on her heart, because I know she thinks the way I think when it comes to that. She's a mom, and you can see her 2 young boys there. From what I see of her, I'm a student of what people are. She's really engaged with her kids, which is awesome. I think that's her why she does that. And I think tonight she's going to share her story with you, but I want you guys just to hear from her. So I'm going to unmute her and I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to put her on the screen so she can talk. So welcome, Kathleen, to the call. Thank you for being on. I'm excited to hear from you. So are you unmuted? Wait a minute. Nope.
I can unmute it.
Yeah, there you are. There you are. Thank you. Welcome.
Hi, everybody.
It's good to see you.
So great to be here from the East Coast. I don't know where everybody's tuning in from, but I appreciate you jumping on because, you know, this is how we have to keep our heads up right now. It's like there's no way that any of us can continue with the right attitude and right posture if we're not plugging into stuff like this. And you have an amazing leader right here who completely brought it to our team over here on the East Coast, did bring some amazing stuff about social media, and it's great to follow somebody who's getting coaching. Never follow somebody who's not getting coached themselves. So Michael, you are a great example of that, and it seems like you're leading a great team. So you mentioned that, if you were in the fitness industry and had a brick and mortar, you would be in trouble right now. And you know, in 2008, I had my private practice. I specialized in myofascial release and women's health as a physical therapist. So I had a cash-based physical therapy business in the heart of Washington, D.C., had a very particular clientele. And then the last economic crisis hit me then. But the thing is that it didn't cripple me because a few things. I offered something that was category changing, was unique. It wasn't saturated. There was no one else that was really doing the kind of work that I was doing in my area. And it was essential for people. And we have that right now, which is why our company is having incredible growth right now when people would think it would not be happening. Because what we have is essential. It's not saturated. It's unique. People need this. They need our products more than ever right now without making any claims, and they need opportunities to work from home. So just know that when we're bringing this to somebody, we're not selling anybody. We're offering a solution for what most people need right now. And that's I'm in incredible gratitude that we have that. And it makes me even more passionate about sharing it with people. And I mean, I'm getting some like a little hardcore with some of my friends, like, people, okay, you need to get on this now. And what did you say, Michael? You know, you're muted.
I said, figure it out. They need to figure it out, right?
It's like my posture is higher than ever. So anyway, that is just a little background. I survived back then, but right now, my colleagues, I'm retired now from doing that, but the people that are doing that right now in my network, they've all closed their practices. They have zero income. But one of my strongest leaders, who is my myofascial release colleague, you know, his paycheck just went over $7,000 in LifeVantage, but he had to close his private practice. And he thanked me the other day. He's like, thank you so much for bringing this to me, because I know I was an absolute no to network marketing when you first brought this to me. And I said, that's okay. Put this product in your body. I love you. I'm going. And then he caught up with me, you know, 6 weeks later and joined as a distributor. So anyway, you know, the reason 7 years ago when this was brought to me, I was not in economic turmoil like we are today 7 years ago. However, I became a mom 9 years ago. And prior to that, I've been a workaholic my whole life. I celebrated when I had 4 jobs over summers in college. I just thought it was so great. I was so busy. I was a workaholic. I was driven by the paycheck, and I never felt like I had enough money to do the things I wanted to do. And I missed out on a lot of things because I just felt like I couldn't afford to take the time off. And when I became a mom, things changed. For the first time in my life, I said, I don't want to go back to work. I've never felt that before. But I didn't have any other way to create income. As a fitness trainer for many years, and then teaching Pilates, and then as a physical therapist, that's just how we made money. We had a client or a patient, and I was self-employed since 2007. So I was really stuck. I didn't have an answer. I was just praying for something that I could do to offset the number of hours I would have to be out of the house, because I really wanted to be home with my kids. And I know that's not everybody's desire, but let's just say choices. I just didn't have the choices that I wanted because I had to show up for those patients and I loved what I did. So it's not like I didn't want to do that. And after my second son was born, my realtor brought this to me, and this is all he said: "I've got a business opportunity for you." He said it to me at my birthday party. It was a surprise birthday party. And as he was leaving with his wife, he says, "I've got a business opportunity for you." And he had no idea that I was praying for something. And I was unself-employed at the time because I was taking time off to be with my second son. I was not making any money, like a lot of people are right now, making zero money. So the idea that people can't come into this business when they're unemployed is a complete fallacy. I've had like almost 15 distributors sign up by April 4th this month. Some of them coming in as platinum packs. So that it's just like a lie. People want something now. So anyway, I jumped in the business because I was so blown away. I'd never even heard of oxidative stress. I saw that news clip. I couldn't believe I'd never heard of this before. But I'm thinking to myself, people pay me $185 an hour for the work that I do 1 time a week, 1 hour a week. This product was back then $40 a month. Now it's $50 a month. That could work in people's bodies 24 hours a day to put out the fire that was probably leading to a lot of their chronic pain that they were coming to see me for. So it was a complete no-brainer. Not only why I would share this with my patients, but why I want this in my own body just for long-term health benefits. And no one would have to pay me a single cent to say, you need to watch this ABC News clip. So just ask yourself, like, would anyone have to pay you to do that? No. I mean, that's a good determination of your belief, because that's how much, after I did my due diligence and I met Marcy Steiner and Amy Homewood 7 years ago when they were Pro 4 and Pro 5 and now they're Pro 9 and Pro 10, and meeting the people that were involved in this was not just a rinky-dink thing. This was attracting some professionals who were brilliant into this. So that caught my attention. I knew I was going to share this. If I could make a few $100s a month, that would be worth it, because that would offset my income a bit. So I just knew I was going to share it. And you just have to know that you're going to share it no matter what, that you're going to do this for a certain amount of time, 3 to 5 years, that's just going to happen no matter what. And that's what I did. And the ripple effect of that, soon, within a few months, I was able to enroll my child in this special school that I really wanted to sign him up for. It was a Waldorf school, Waldorf education, $18,000 a year. It's so insane. Okay. But that's how much I wanted that experience for my child. And if any of you have children, like what you would do to have, provide something for your kid. And that's what it was for me. And then, it just kept growing. And I started showing up to events. We're never going to be successful in this if we're not attending events. Marcy Steiner said, the next right thing, you got to go to Premier School, which was LVA today. And I did. And I was just blown away. That lit me up. And I went to my first conference and there was no turning back. I just kept sharing and sharing and sharing, treat it like a business. I traded it like my own physical therapy profession. There's something going on with your screen, Michael. Oh, okay, there we go. We really have to treat it like a profession, like we would whatever profession we're in right now. If you're a healthcare practitioner, you treat it like that. You go to the conferences for your CEUs, you do that. If you're in sales, you go to conferences for that. Whatever you're in, like we all have that continuing education. And the people that treat this like that are going to get a lot further. And that's just what I did. It was a constant growth. I hit a lot of roadblocks along the way. And I remember Marcy Steiner saying to me, we're always going to feel stuck where we need the growth. Like there's something we need to learn. If anyone is on this call that feels stuck where they're at, there's something within us that needs to grow. We need to develop ourselves somehow. And in fact, I just signed up for the Eric Worre. He has a free GoPro tour happening on Tuesday with Tony Robbins and Les Brown, and I mean, all sorts of amazing people from 3 to 6 Eastern. So I just signed up for that, and I'm promoting that to my team because we just got to plug into that, right? We've got to keep developing ourselves and our mindset. And that's usually when you have a breakthrough there, that's when you'll find like you have a big rank advancement. And that's the exciting part of it. So fast forward, I was able to retire from physical therapy after about 4.5 years. I had to claim that before I hit Pro 7. I had to claim my choice before that rank advancement occurred. And we all really have to do it. We have to just claim what we want and where we're going before that rank advancement occurs. I really believe that. And that happened for me. And today, more than ever, I'm so grateful as this is happening in our world right now. And I teeter. I get scared because I have 2 young kids and I'm recently divorced. So I'm co-parenting, and with 2 young kids, we're sharing these kids back and forth, and this is happening. There's this part of me that's like terrified, and this part of me that just knows that we are being taken care of, not only spiritually, energetically, but this company is taking care of us. They have set us up for success and set us up on a platform that allows us not only to take care of our families, but to help take care of other families and provide that platform for others. So, my business grew enormously this month when I moved into a brand new house. I was moving, I was barely doing anything personally for my business, and my business still grew significantly. It was like 25 to 30,000 more in March than in February. So just don't believe any of that nonsense that our business can't grow at this time and we can't help people, because this is the time. This is the time right now to reach out and help those people that are praying for a solution, and we have no idea if this is for them or not, but it's our moral obligation to let them know. So I just want to thank you, Michael, for being a pioneer of this, being a leader of this company and everything you bring to it. And thank you so much for inviting me on.
No, it's good. Before you go, I just want to ask you one real quick question. Okay. This is from me to you.
Sure.
So what drives you? What encourages you? Because here's what I've realized because you and I have a lot of similarities in our background, just a lot. I don't have kids, so obviously I'm not, it just wasn't in the plans for me. It's really funny. Like, my accountant says to me, we were talking about 2 weeks ago, and he said, do you ever sit and think about all the kids that you influenced when you had your brick and mortar business and every team came to you and all? And I said, yeah, those are my kids. Right. But I don't, obviously that's different for you, but because my wife and I, we were just talking about this, Tanya, Eliza, and John and Nadia Milton had a training last weekend, and they're going to do it again in another 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And it's a 2-day full training. And my wife and I just love them because they're people.
Yeah, they're so great.
They're people of integrity. They're God-fearing people. They give of all their hearts, and they've made millions and millions of dollars in the network marketing industry. And so many people have a negative connotation about network marketing. So what drives you and what keeps you motivated? And then you can finish with that, because I'm excited to hear your answer.
Well, what keeps me going is the freedom that I'm experiencing right now. Without LifeVantage, I wouldn't be in this position. I just bought my own home. That mortgage would not be approved if I was in a different situation. So it's experiencing the freedom right now and the choices, and to be able and know that I can support my family. There's no turning back. I mean, that drives me enormously, but also I have an enormous passion to help other people create that freedom, because I'm experiencing it. And I know how it feels. I know how it feels that I can go out and I don't have enough toys for my boys, right? So we've split up everything in our home, and I was able to go out and spend a few $100s without any question, just to get the basketballs and the Legos and get all these things. And it's enormously valuable. I know just personal, being a mom of 2 young boys, but it's the choices. And so I'm going to people right now. We have this opportunity right now with the $50 off. And I don't even like to say you can just join my business for free, because I think that sets people up.
Absolutely.
It's going to duplicate, right? And people aren't going to make money. They're just not going to make the money that would make a difference. So when I'm still looking for people that are interested in income, and I'm saying there is an opportunity here to make it a little bit easier for you to come in with one of the packs that we have. And here's the value of these packs. Are you open? You want to revisit this conversation right now? Because things are a little different in the world right now. I know it wasn't, I just talked to a friend the other day, and she's been with Marriott for 25 years. She's furloughed for the first time. And for a year and a half, she's been on the products, and I've been inviting her to look at the business, and now she's open because it's just the timing. So the timing is now. I mean, everybody is looking. So all we get to do is reinvite people. The company is making it a bit easier for you to come in with one of our enrollment packs. Are you interested in revisiting the conversation? Revisiting the business? There's all these Zoom opportunities happening. There's momentum. I mean, there's no excuses just to get the information in front of people. So
that's awesome. And that's awesome. So, it's really funny that you brought this up, and then I'll let you run. That we were actually, I was talking with a couple of my leaders this week, and we were thinking about this. And I said, imagine if all of your leaders brought in 20 people that just used $200 worth of product. They got a free starter kit, and every single one of them did that. Imagine if everybody in your organization, because I've had one person in my group already bring in 6 just in this short period of time. And him and I were just talking about this. What if every single one of our people in your organization and my organization, Kathleen, brought in 10 people that were using $200 worth of product? We would create multiple Pro 3s and Pro 4s and Pro 5s. Why? Because a lot of times when we bring people in, and 80% of the enrollments in my group are platinum packs, but a lot of people now that fall off, if I could get 100 people using $200 worth of product, I would be much happier than anything. So thank you for your encouragement and sharing. And I'm hopefully we can have you on again sometime when we have some more time, and I can just get people to know you better. I actually want to interview you sometime in the near future. Now that we're more in quarantine, I would love to do that and record it so that we can share it with some other people and do it on our team page. So I just want to say thank you so much for being on. Thanks for I look back after I do a retraining in the LVA, and I look back to all the encouragement, because sometimes when you're speaking for 4 hours, you don't realize the effect that you have. I think sometimes I gain much more than most people, but that day, that next morning, Lisa and I sat and I read about 60 some emails from people that had been in the business for a while and inspired, and to have close to 12 elites on for a 4-hour training was just encouraging. So thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for your friendship. And I look forward to getting to know you better. And so thanks for being on. I appreciate you.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Good luck. It's going to be an amazing April, and we have the opportunity to touch a lot of people.
Say hi to Marcy. I'll talk to you guys. I'll talk to you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Guys, how encouraging is that to see people that, it's really funny. I have a lot of medical friends. I think I have 350 chiropractors that message me on a regular basis. And sometimes I wonder what they went to school for. Like, that's why I hang around people like Kathleen that can look at science and not look at the bombardment of network marketing that they got bombarded with for years and years. Because a lot of people don't take what she did and go and look at the research and not try to make their own assumption about it, right? How many of us have had somebody that makes up their own assumption about the science? Guys, it's irrefutable. When Mike Weingarten and I talk about this all the time. I remember having drives, and him and I would talk about different things when we were working together, about how it doesn't really matter what other people say. It's your belief system. Do you think one time a week being on a call, like hearing Jason Kokinzi and Clinton Boyles, guys, I don't know if you saw the people that are presenting this week that I sent that are presenting this week. You have Pro 8s and Pro 9s that are all presenting this week, and you have the availability to get people in front of them. So like Kathleen said, the only person that holds us back is ourselves. I'm guilty of it. All of us are guilty of it. I think Mike would probably agree with me too. We used to talk about what we thought was the biggest piece that was holding us back, and we both said it all the time, was ourselves. Because whether it was our fitness goals or our business goals, right? Or probably our relationship goals, right? The number one thing was when we looked in the mirror, were we okay with the amount of effort that we were putting in to change, right? And I just want to say this before we move on. I just want to, if you guys can think about her in your thoughts and prayers, Wendy Hill, who is one of our Pro 4s. It's normally always on these calls. You guys have heard her speak on these calls. Her mom just passed away today. So unexpectedly. So if you guys can keep her in your thoughts and prayers, that would be great. But here's what I want to do next. Because guys, I think that if you guys will listen and take some notes on this, this will make your social media perspective a lot better. Because they have taken our advice with the, let me get rid of Kathleen's thing here. Hold on one second. They have taken our advice when it comes to this playbook. So I want you guys to be able to see this. So when you go, if you want to find this, you're going to have to click on over here on the right where it says sign in on your website. You'll sign in and then you'll put in your password and your ID. Okay. Then you're going to click on, let me go back so you guys can see what that looks like. So once you do that, you're going to come to this page, which is the first page after you've logged in. And then you're going to click on monthly marketing playbook. Guys, this thing is freaking unbelievable. If you do not learn how to do this, this will hinder your business. It's sad. And I don't say this to offend anybody, but most of my upline, other than Brandon and Lynette, they are teaching it, but my enroller and a lot of other people are not getting any of this information in, okay? How many of you know that they took tons and tons of time and effort put in this? Now, this month, the product is the prebiotic and the probiotic. And I don't know if you guys listened. By a show of hands, there's a lot of people in here. How many of you listened to Dr. Dixon's video yesterday on the prebiotic and the probiotic? How many of you would say that it was freaking unbelievable? It was unbelievable. And everybody's raising their hand. You can raise your hand thing too. That's kind of cool too. So guys, he did a phenomenal job. And here's where you can go back and listen to these things. So if you want to, for this month, you can click on the download social assets. Okay. Once you do that, here's 25 different shareables on the pre and probiotic. Okay. They're all different ones. And if you click on one, then you can go over here on the side and just click on to the next one over this little arrow here. What do you do to support your healthy lifestyle? You know, probiotics live throughout the entire body. True or false? You guys can go through all of these and use these as posts. They're all in the calendar. They're all here for you. All you can do is click it, download it to your computer, and share it. Okay, or download it to your phone. Okay, so as I'm going through this, if you have questions, I don't think you guys will, but I'm going to try to explain it enough that you probably won't have a lot of questions. But these are really super awesome things, guys. They took all the LifeVantage wording off. There are some that talk about Protandim Nerve 2 and stuff, which I still think are great. I don't know if you heard Tara Wilson said that she said she just wants to tell people what it is, right? Mike, she got after it, didn't she? She just told us like it was, right? She just said, hey, look, this is what you have in your hand, and the only person that's holding you back is yourself, right? She said, just go and do it. Like, just do it, right? And so here is the Success Mastery trainings from this past weekend. You can click here and download the recordings and listen to them. Guys, you have time now. Invest in your business. You know the number one thing that I took away from Tara, and if you watch this, type in some of your comments down that you took takeaways from yesterday's training. Here's what I took away from her. She just said, look, you need to be a student of the game. She said, the reason I'm so successful, she said, my first year, I'd never done network marketing before. I learned and I treated it like a flipping business. I grew. I did social media training. I did everything. And then I was super intentional. I kept a notebook. How many of you guys have heard me talk about having a schedule and a notebook to where Stacy and I have talked about it to we're blue in the face. And you guys look, ask him what's the number one thing that he's been most successful with recently in doing is keeping a schedule. Keeps him on track. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows when he's going to follow up with people, when he's going to share with people, when he's just going to build relationships with people. I'm working with a 70-year-old guy who I did one LinkedIn post and he got 20 leads from it, okay? 20 leads to have a conversation with somebody. How many of you thought that even the week before when Seth Mulder talked about how you just build a rapport with people, that was freaking awesome. You can go on here and download those and listen to them, okay? You can also download the presentations that are being done on Tuesday nights. Okay, they're right here. It doesn't say who's doing this Tuesdays yet, but I will post it once we find out. You have my phone? I did post this that I'll tell you guys, the building depth presentations this week. I posted the list of who is going to be sharing. I don't know if you guys saw that, but let me go through it again just really quick. So Monday night is Tony Kratzowitz. Tuesday night is Marcia Livingston, retired nurse. And now there's been a change. You guys might want to change this one. Dr. Mike Lyman he had an accident, a biking accident, and so his back is really jacked up. So it's going to be Clinton Boyles, Pro 9 Clinton Boyles. What a great person to have people get in front of. And then it's going to be Thursday is going to be Dave and Joanne Madison, who you heard on our call last week. And then Dan Mollering is going to be on after that. And then Greg and Patty Palka on Friday or on Saturday. And then following Monday is Everett Schilling. Okay, is Everett Schilling. So guys, and I want to prep this a little bit so you guys can be excited about next Sunday's call too. By a lot of you guys had the opportunity to listen to the call yesterday. I don't know who were some of your favorite people, but Sarah Harding was one of my favorite people from yesterday. So I reached out to her, and she's going to be on our call next Sunday. Okay, so she's going to share some stuff that she's doing. I'm actually thinking about hiring her to help me and Lisa with social media, even though I feel like we know everything. What is the one thing that you heard Kathleen say about us? Is that we have coaches. Guys, the best thing you can do is I'm just going to say this, and he could probably tell you I'm wrong. I turned Stacy on to one of the best coaches that there is on the internet in George Bryant. Stacy can tell you, there is no way Stacy has got any more value when it comes to building relationships and giving value than he's got. You can see me shaking his head as I'm saying this right now. George is a champion when it comes to giving value and teaching. Now, some of his techniques, he's got a sailor's mouth, which bothers me, but I tell him all the time, and he knows it because we have that type of relationship. But Mike's laughing because he knows. But you know what? Lisa can tell you when he's around us, he never says one cuss word. He doesn't. If you guys listen to my training that I did with him, and if you've never listened to it, I'll send it to you. It's dynamite. Him and I did a 1 hour one-on-one session together, and I recorded it, and he said I could, and he said, give it to whoever you want. And if you haven't watched it and you want it, just tell me and I'll give it to you. It's freaking unbelievable. But I'm going to have Sarah Harding on next week. I'm going to let her take the entire time that we're together next week, except for one thing. I will tell you guys this. I still use the app, but we're getting a brand new app. And if you don't learn how to use it, you're going to be super far behind. You'll be able to do everything on your business from the app. Okay. My 2 newest enrollments I did through the app. Okay. I sent them an enrollment link through the app. So the app is going to be 10 times better. They talked a little bit about it on our elite call the other day. Jesse answered some questions, but down here, guys, this is a calendar to show you. Yes, Tracy. And this is a calendar to show you what to post on social media. Okay. It's got all the days, and then over here, it's got what to post. Now, tomorrow, it'll give you what to post on Monday. They'll be here April the 6th because they give them to you that day. So these will all be available on Monday. And then you just click them on and you share them.
Click on one from this past week.
This one this past week?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's 2 from this past week. All right. Freshman 15, more like the quarantine 40, somebody says, but not these workouts. And then it shows you some social distancing tips, and it shows you some shareables. Okay. Let me go back. Drop and give.
Right.
What's that?
What to actually write. Is that in there too?
Yeah, the April blogs and stuff, they're all in here. It tells you underneath here, media data and similar, how to look at them. You guys can click on all this stuff and get like metadata. You can change them to different colors. I don't know if you guys knew this. It can tell you, you can change the text if you want right here. See where it says social distancing tips, drop and give me 10. you guys can change that and it'll change it on the screen for you. I just learned this today. Because how many of you know that education is learning and growing, right? You know, you can put similar things on here, the distancing tips. So then when you go back to these at the beginning, they just show you different things that you can do every single week. And then it's in the playbook. And so that's why I really like these. I'll just tell you this, one of my distributors, new distributors, his name is Joe. He's like, Mike, these podcasts and all this stuff and all these interviews are phenomenal. He said, from a guy, science-based guy, when you listen to some of these podcasts, and you can see the date. There's one on the 2nd. There's one on the 9th. Okay. And you can find these all on the LifeVantage Facebook page.
Perfect place to get content.
Yeah, perfect place to get content. Stacy can tell you George's number one thing that he talks about all the time is giving value, giving value, giving value, giving value. Guess where you can get your value from? The playbook. You don't have to guess about it. It's already there for you. You don't have to text me and say, what do I say? What do I post? What do I do? Okay. The less, the more, it's just like, I was talking to a new distributor of Chris's, a guy named Jeff that I've been building a relationship with for a while now. I don't even know if he's on. He might be on. But we were talking about how to communicate and how to build on social media. And guys, you guys remember the number one thing that Sarah Harding said about you have to build a brand, right? You have to get, what is it you guys hear me say all the time? What are the 3 things that you must get people to do when they look at you? They must know you, like you, and trust you, okay? Know, like, and trust you, right? That should be your goal with everybody. And then, you know, what's the one thing? So I don't even know if Jeff is on, but I'm sure he'd be okay with me saying this. He asked me, he said, what is one thing you think I need to do? Stop using social media. Only use, and Stacy can tell you, George talks about this all the time. He only follows 11 people on Facebook. He doesn't scroll like. He uses it for a business, right? How many of you wish that 90% of your friends would use it as a business and not to spread their dirty laundry all over Facebook and Instagram and social media? Mike, everybody's shaking their head. How many of you are tired of political stuff and bashing and all that stuff? It's absolutely ridiculous, right? And I'll tell you what, I have to go back and erase and erase some things that I want to comment on. How many of you want to comment on those things and just tell people off? But you can't do it. You know, like today, I had a doctor friend of mine that went to Ohio State. We got into this, you know, he wanted to know why some of the doctors aren't doing their own studies. I was like, you're a doctor and you're wondering why when would doctors have time to do their own studies? Like, you know, he said, well, how come that Dr. Maniscalco says he's got like 1,500 to 2,000 people on the products. I said, when would he have time to do that? He's 69 years old. Like, bro, you're a doctor and you know, so I had to pull back. And not engage, right? So how many of you think I might have wanted to engage with him a little bit? But my mic's right, just a little bit, right? So that's what I say. If you look at this, download this calendar down here, and if you go down to the very bottom of this, okay, right here, it says get social media assets. This is all of the assets that they have. One's on promotions, one's on taking, like if you click on taking control of your business and you slide down, here's the 2 presentations that were done by Marcy and Dondi. And then here's the one by Skip, okay? You can get those. You can get the LifeVantage stack ones. You can click on these. I'll tell you which one I really like. I like this one right here with the stack ripped open. And I love this post right here, okay? I love that post. There's a lot of different things that I like about these posts, right? You can see easy as 1, 2, 3. I like that, right? I like these things, right? And these are all shareable. So go through and find the ones that you like. Find the ones that you think will relate to people right now and what people are going through. How do you do that? You ask them questions.
6 collections.
6 collections? Okay.
Those are the markets.
Oh, yeah, here you go. Tracy, Stacy, here's the markets that these are each in. So if you click on 6 collections, here's Australia, Canada, Europe, Mexico, New Zealand, and Thailand. Okay. So click on 6 and then you can click on yours. So, I mean, here's free shipping assets. You know, it's got active shipping. It's got the monthly free shipping stuff. You know, if you look at the promotions, I like these. These have got stuck at home, start a business for free. Guys, here's what I want to tell you. Do not sign someone up for free without a $200 auto ship. Do not do it. Okay? Even if you start them off with with a tri-synergizer, okay? And then you get them some more customers to cover their 200. You do not want to just sign someone up just to sign them up. It will create, what did Kathleen just say? It'll create horrible duplication, okay? All right? You do not want to do that. You know, I've got people that, you know, I know we are going in stealth mode Monday through Wednesday, going back to old distributors, old customers. We're gonna split them up. She's gonna share with some. I'm gonna share with some. We're not gonna be dormant, guys. This is not a time for you to be dormant. You know, I mean, like look at some of these. You know, how much did your business cost to start? How many people do you know that have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to start a business? Right? How many people think that you guys haven't understand how many people are actually closing down their businesses? Doctors, it's crazy, right? I like, there was one a science-based business. I don't let me see if I see it. Oh yeah, here it is. I like this one over here.
Science rooted in
Yeah, backed by science, rooted in you. I like these. Because there was one that says join a science. Oh, here it is. Scientifically backed home-based business. Okay. I love this one. I got 3 leads. My friend Alex Macklin, who I haven't talked to in a long time, reached out to me and said, hey, I want to talk about the products. I want to talk about the business. And he said, I spend about $250 a month. Can I spend about 200? I need to cut back 50. What do you think I said to him? Okay. What do you think I said to him? Yes, you can. Okay. Yes, you can. And so stuck at home, make a business. Okay. So let me ask, does anybody have questions about any of this that I've shared? The calendar is there. How many of us 20 that are on here tonight? There's a lot more because there's people together. How many of you think that hey, what's up, Ken? They made this pretty good. Good to see you, brother. How many of you think that they made this really simple and easy, right? One of the really cool things that I like now is I showed a picture, and I'll share it with you guys. At the last corporate event that we had before this all happened, when we were in Long Beach, there was close to 1,000 people at the doctor's meeting. It was standing room only, and Brett Brimhall took a picture of the crowd, and every seat was taken and all around the room. And I said, Brett, what happened that day? He said the fire marshal came and said that we had to open up another door. And so how many people know that costs some more money for them to do that, right? They weren't just going to give them another room that was adjacent by doing that. So guys, if you have any questions about this stuff, all I tell you to do is just realize that Kathleen said it. LifeVantage had their best month last month, and the company is growing exponentially. People are looking at opportunity. I did 7 presentations this week. I have a new doctor coming on board this week from over in Melbourne on Wednesday. I mean, guys, people are wanting us to have conversation with them. All I wanted to encourage you is just build relationships with people. You don't have to talk to them about the business maybe on the first touch, maybe on the second, maybe on the third. Maybe you're just building a relationship. I had a doctor and his wife jump on Zoom with me, and I just asked them a bunch of questions, and then they finally said, hey, are you going to tell us what's got you your time back? I wasn't even going to talk to him about it. And I met him through my friend, Jimmy Coleman, who just got married, who I had on the products. He was asking them about the products, and they said, well, who told you about this stuff? And how long have you been taking it? And so for me, my thing is now, like, for instance, I have my friend Frankie, who's been on the products for a while now, 6 months, and he loves them. And his wife is a fitness influencer. So I reached him. I said, hey, sometime this week, will you just get on Zoom with me for 30 minutes, you and Janelle? He said, yeah, what's going on? And I told him, he said, Let's have a conversation. So it's all about building relationships, creating conversation. If you guys do that, you will find that you'll continue to take people. Like, I'm just going to tell you this again. Let me tell you one thing that you have to do. Do not be friends with all the LifeVantage people on Facebook. Stacy's laughing, but he knows it's the truth because he sees it. I asked him, I said, how many LifeVantage people see your posts? He said, all of them. I said, how many of them do you want to see them? None. You don't want any of them to see it. Vic and I had this conversation. You do not want any of them. Mike and how many times, Mike, have we had this conversation? There's a difference between following people and being friends with them. You can follow them, but you do not need to be friends with them. I would tell you this, be friends with maybe 3 to 5% of LifeVantage, people that you're really close with. But you guys know what? Who's one of our closest friends in this business is Rich Scott. I didn't even know we weren't friends on Facebook. He took me off and said, hey, I just want to apologize. I took you off Facebook. I was like, no wonder I don't see your posts anymore. But who was seeing his posts? I was. Do you think he wants me to see his posts? No, he doesn't. Okay? Like, I can be friends with people on here and Julia and those type of people because we want them to see some of the stuff we do. But 95% of the people that you want to see your posts should not be LifeVantage people. Okay? They shouldn't. There's a lot of people that send me, that I see following me. Because you know why? Because when I teach LifeVantage Academy, I tell them don't send me a friend request. If I pulled up my Facebook right now, you would see 400 plus friend requests. I'm not going to add them because a lot of them are LifeVantage people. The ones that aren't, I'll add them. You know why? Because they're possible people for me to build relationships with. Guys, do you know how many people we have coming back to LifeVantage that just things in their life happened and they got distracted, or, something traumatic happened in their life? It's happening just like now. I mean, I was sad for Wendy today, but thank God Wendy has created momentum in her business, that she has some leaders in her business that are creating momentum, right? I mean, I had a lady write me an email this long saying, I can't believe I wasted the last 3 years and didn't build my LifeVantage business. And then she just listed to me what happens. How many people know that those are the type of people we need to wrap our arms around and hug them and love them and say, welcome back? What? Because you've got 2 to 3 more years before this thing hits momentum, right? And now when better to go to all your customers and your distributors and share the information with them. And if they say, hey, I don't have any money, say, hey, look, you don't need money to get started today. Do you want to use the products and do the business? You know, the number one thing that I learned from Sherry Hollenbeck of why she's in the top 3 in enrollments every time we have a promotion? Because she gives them 3 options at the end. Do you see the product? Do you see the business? Or do you see both? How many of you like options? How many of you are people that when you go, how many of you on here, by a show of hands, when you go out to dinner, you just say, I want the number 1? No, you don't. You say, I want the number 1 minus this, minus that, add this, upsize this, do this, right? Okay. Lisa sometimes, for the most part, is one of those people that just says, hey, if it just, it's so funny. As long as it doesn't have mustard, she's good. Right? Julia's laughing because she knows, right? As long as it doesn't have mustard, she's good. She's like, it doesn't have mustard, does it? And then everything else is fine, right? So just take the number 1 minus the mustard, right? You guys know that's what people want. They want options. If you don't give them options, guess what? They're not going to join. I went back to 2 doctors I shared with this week. I said, look, you didn't respond back to me. I'm not here to pressure you. I'm watching what you're doing and I'm praying for you. Do you think they answered me back after that? They did. Why? Who was it about then? It was about them, not about me. Do I need them to join the business? Nope. Do I want them to? Yep. But who do I want to make it about? I want to make it about them. So I've been on here a while. I'm super excited. I don't know about you guys, but I saw how excited Joanne was last week. I thought I was excited, and then Joanne was on last week. And then when I did my presentation on Friday night, and we had close to 100, and with couples and stuff, we had over 100. Tracy was on. Everybody loved it. I got massive feedback. Even I think I had 25 text messages of people that wanted the recording. And we get the choice to whether, like James Hayden didn't want his recorded. Some people do not want theirs recorded. I did because I want it for you guys. So if you didn't get to watch it or you want it, just send me a text message or send me guys, it was only 40 some minutes long. And you know what I like? I don't know about you guys. Like I love everybody in this company, but sometimes Mike Weingarten and I've talked about this for years. Some people, I can't listen to an hour and 15-minute presentation. Mike's shaking his head no. Do you know why? And so is Stacy, right? And Richard knows. Richard and I have been at presentations before and seen people fall asleep when people are presenting. And we're elbowing people, right? And that's what, you know why? Because that's why. Sherry, thank you so much. And you know what you want to do? You want to make sure that when people are watching you, that they can, when they're done, they can say, hey, I can do what Mike did. I can do what Ken did. I can do what Stacy did. I can do what Richard, I can do what Andrea did, you know? And that's the reason why, because people want to know if they can do it and is it real? And is it something that they can do? You know, like I see Ken with his daughter on his lap. Like that motivates me to want to see Ken be successful. Why? Because I know that his kids are his why, right? He wants to build something for his kids. How many of you want to build something for your kids or your grandkids? And even if it's for yourself, don't feel like that's selfish. It's not. You know, like we want, I'll be honest with you. I'm not saying it because she's sitting right here. I want to do this for Lisa's family. My family, I don't have kids. I don't have brothers and sisters. She does. I want to do this so that her family, her nieces and nephews her niece is a little over 1 year old, right? You know, I want to see her have financial freedom as she gets older. You know what I want to do in 18 years, 17 years? I want to write a check for her college, right? And say, hey, guess what, Tiffany? Giselle's going to college for free. How many of you think that would be a good thing, right? How many of you think that would be a good thing? That would be a good thing. So let me just ask this before we go. Anybody have a comment or a question that they want to ask? I'll let you guys unmute yourself if you do. Does anybody have a comment or question or they want to share before we go?
I just typed it in. Michael, again, my biggest challenge, and I might be the only one on here, is talking to people. Well, I don't have a challenge talking to people. It's inviting them to see something, and I say too much, and you know that. And
well,
here's
the thing. Then you need to go watch some of the YouTube videos on YouTube about watch Sherry, how Sherry talks. Sherry does a 15-minute conversation with somebody, and then she decides whether she's going to share the information. She said sometimes she shares it with them on the second or third time. Guys, when I shared with that couple, and we'll talk more about that off here, Tracy. Here's the key thing: is just be yourself. Don't try to be a salesperson. Don't try to sell them something. Just ask them questions. You know what Dondi Nettles taught me the other day? He said, Mike, here's what people are looking for. They're looking for time, and they're looking for something that they can do right now. Like right now. Like what can they do right now? And how can it benefit them? Because I had all these doctors that were asking me to share with them. And I said, Dondi, how would you want to hear this right now if you were them? And he said, I'd want to have my time. And I'd want to have something that I can work while I'm in the nooks and crannies of because guys, I had a lady come and cut my hair yesterday and she filed for unemployment. She said, I'm about broke. And so how many think that it was good that I had her come to our house and cut my hair? Because she needed money, right? She needed money. We need to take action on things that
baby butt fuzz.
Richard's laughing at you.
Laughing
and here's the thing, like if you see, like I did not like
your whiskers are longer than your hair.
That's funny. I did not, you're distracting me. I did not like how I did this business the first 7 years I did it. I didn't, right? And Richard waving his hand, we just talked about this on the phone the other day. You know what I didn't like? Is I didn't like the confusion. You know what? I lost Pro 5s and Pro 6s because they did not know what to do. They did not know what to do, you know? And they were confused. And you know what they did? They went and did something that was easy. Didn't make sense, but it was easy. How many of you, sometimes people go do dumb things because it's easy? Mike's shaking his head, right? Mike and I talk about these things all the time. People go do stupid things because it's easy, right? They go sell a $6,000 piece of equipment that a person's going to buy from you how many times? One time. You guys remember what Darren said? Exactly. Lori just said it. Everyone was learning at the same time in the beginning. Yes. And I actually, sometimes in the beginning, Lori and I were doing it the right way, because we'd do a meeting every single week at her house and people would sign up. And then we'd go to other people's houses and do meetings and people would sign up. And then we just wanted it. I wanted it more. And Lori taught me a lot about this business. Lori taught me about how she wanted to be talked to and how she felt, you know, and now I'm more receptive about how people are when they're doing this. And that's why now it's whether you have a little success or a lot of success or no success, as long as you don't quit and you follow the system, you're going to be successful sooner or later. Whether you reach one person, 10 people, or 1,000 people. That if you guys hear what Kathleen said, I'll finish with this. She said, I feel like I have how many times have you heard me say this? That we have a moral responsibility, not a moral obligation, a moral responsibility to do this. If God's entrusted you with something and you know that he has, in the end, the only person that can make that change is you. The only person that can change how I worked with people in the beginning and how I work with them now is me. You know? Yeah, exactly. God's going to help me, but I still got to take the actions. So guys, I love you. Have a great week. Call us. Let's do some 3-way phone calls. If you don't have my link schedule, it's really easy. It's calendly.com/HeFluence. He-Fluence, actually. If you need me, just jump on my schedule. And guys, let's have a good week. If you need me, just call me, reach out. If you do not have my recording from the other night, just send me a text or a Facebook Messenger, and I will give you the recording from there. I uploaded it to YouTube yesterday.
I think it's on your page too, I believe. I saw it on your page.
Yeah, it's on the LVN Freedom Fighters too. But if you need it and you don't have it and you want it, I send it out to a ton of people, probably about 30 people. So if you need it and you want it, just let me know. But guys, God bless you. I love you guys. Congratulations for being who you are, because you guys are just phenomenal. Thank you so much, Sherry. I appreciate that. Love you. Love you all. Ken, good to see you. Yeah, good to see you, Ken.
Can we do some kind of card for Grace or something?
You mean for Wendy? Yes.
Yeah, Wendy, a virtual thing or something?
Yeah, we will. I will. Absolutely.
Good idea.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Please.
Love you.
Thank you.